At 7:18 p.m., my phone buzzed. It was my wife. Car trouble, waiting for help. I stared at the message for a few seconds. Then I typed, "Oh, you mean the cheating?" I sent it. For the first time in 10 years of marriage, I didn't ask where she was. I didn't ask if she was safe. I didn't offer to come get her, because I already knew where she was. And more importantly, I knew who she was with. The strange part was that she had no idea I knew. 3 hours earlier, she'd kissed me at the front door and said she had an evening meeting with a client. She looked perfect. New dress, new perfume, hair done differently. I remember asking, "Big meeting?" She smiled and said, "Very important." I believed her. At least that's what she thought. 2 weeks earlier, I'd noticed small things changing. Her phone was always face down. She started taking calls outside. She suddenly had passwords on everything. And whenever I walked into the room, certain conversations stopped. I didn't confront her. I watched. Then, that afternoon, I received a message from an unknown number. There was one photo attached. My wife was sitting at a restaurant across town. Across from her was a man I'd never seen before. His hand was resting on hers. The caption underneath the photo was simple. "You deserve to know. I didn't explode. I didn't call her. I didn't even cry. I simply saved the picture. Then I waited. At 7:18, her message arrived. Car trouble, waiting for help. I looked at the photo again. Then I replied with 4 words. "Oh, you mean the cheating?" The typing indicator appeared immediately. Disappeared. Appeared again. Then nothing. 7 minutes passed. Finally, my phone rang. Her voice sounded nervous. "What are you talking about?" I said nothing. She laughed awkwardly. "Are you joking?" "No." Silence. Then she whispered, "Where are you?" I looked around our empty living room. "Home." She stopped breathing for a moment. Then she said, "I don't understand." I answered calmly, "You don't have to explain the car." Another silence. "Explain the man." She hung up. That was the moment I understood something painful. I hadn't lost my wife that night. I had lost her months earlier. I just hadn't known it yet. An hour later, the front door opened. She walked inside alone. No tears, no anger, just fear. She placed her purse on the table and looked at me. "Who told you?" I held up my phone. She saw the photograph. Her face changed instantly. I expected excuses. Instead, she sat down. "It wasn't supposed to happen." I almost laughed. Not because it was funny, because those words were so small compared with what she had destroyed. "How long?" I asked. She looked at the floor. 6 months. 6 months. 6 months of lying beside me. 6 months of telling me she was tired. 6 months of making me believe our marriage was simply going through a difficult period. I nodded slowly. Then I asked the question that hurt more than everything else. "Did you ever feel guilty?" She didn't answer. And that silence was my answer. I stood up and walked toward the bedroom. She followed me. "Where are you going?" I pulled a suitcase from the closet. Her eyes widened. "You're leaving?" "No," I said. "I am." She started crying. For the first time that night, she looked genuinely scared. "Please, we can fix this." I zipped the suitcase. "No, you can explain it. You can regret it. You can apologize." I looked at her one last time. "But I can't unknow it." She reached for my hand. I stepped back. That small movement broke something in her face. I picked up my suitcase and walked toward the door. Behind me, she whispered, "Where will you go?" I opened the door. "Somewhere I don't have to wonder if I'm being lied to." Then I left. And as the door closed behind me, I realized something. The saddest part wasn't that my wife had cheated. It was that when she finally told me the truth, I already knew everything. And somehow, knowing the truth made the silence between us hurt more than any confession ever could.